This ain't right here now.
She look like a star.
No, we don't need that. We don't need that. All right, what we got?
Talking about Max and his progression.
You mean as he's growing and developing? I think, as I said last year, he was just learning basic math a little bit. We were just trying to get him to Algebra 1. He did a good job in spring practice, and he's done a good job in fall camp, and he's obviously progressed way beyond that now. He's certainly not where I expect him to be by the end of the season, or where I expect him to be in the next year or so. But the guy's playing really well. He's seeing things well. He's anticipating throws. He's recognizing defenses, and he's been very accurate so far. Hopefully, we can continue building on that, continue growing.
What do you envision from Morgan Newton in that H-back spot?
Well, we don't have many guys with his size and speed. You don't have enough guys like that. And I told him last spring, if he wasn't starting quarterback, he wasn't going to stand beside me. We were going to do something. And he's had a great attitude about it, and we're going to continue working him and see where we can grow with him. He did some nice things today, made a couple of really nice catches. Obviously, if you play quarterback, you should know what to do. It's a matter of learning how to do it. Well, we're kind of one or two. We ran it against Louisville, made a first down, and ran it last week, and turned somebody loose up front, and it didn't really. But we're going to continue with it. He is a guy that is a pretty good runner. Anything we can do to help make first down.
Randy, how concerned are you about Morgan being in there, maybe getting hurt or heartbeat away from the
Well, it's a concern, no question. But you can't win the Kentucky Derby yelling "whoa." You got to do all you can to try to win every game you play. So we're going to do that. Hopefully, it won't happen. But if it does, we'll deal with it at that time.
It's a pleasant surprise with the offensive line. A lot of questions going in.
Sure, and there's still some questions, Jim. I think they've played very well so far. Obviously, the level of competition only increases at this point. Just like Max is a work in progress and continuing to improve. I think they've done a nice job so far, but we've got to continue to grow and improve. So hopefully they will. There's certainly no reason to think they won't.
How much does Western's pass rush have that group's attention after 6 sacks and stuff?
I would think it has their attention pretty good. They're good pass rushers. They got a very experienced group up front, and you got guys that's played a lot of football. And, it's a lot of the same names that we played 2 years ago up here, and being pretty good when they were young. Now they've grown up and matured, and it's a challenge. They do a nice job of pushing the edge. They're not a huge blitz team, but they do blitz some, and it's going to be a challenge for our backs to pick it up and quarterback to see.
How did Western force Alabama to go more toward the air?
I think Alabama kind of went to the air a little bit out of choice, somewhat. Western is, as I mentioned, they're good up front, so they know how to play run. Their offense runs a lot at them downhill, so they get used to playing that. They have a good defensive football team, no question. It's going to be a big challenge for us this week, and we're going to come out and play awfully well and make plays.
CoShik practiced today.
CoShik did practice today, and it looks pretty close to full speed. I think. The one thing that was obvious, having not run last week, he was fresh. And it's amazing how those fresh guys show up on the practice field.
Any other injuries to talk about on the offensive side?
You know what, Jen? That's really not my department, so I'm gonna let that one slide.
Go back to when you first saw Max on tape, before you'd seen him first. What were your impressions of him? What stuck out?
It was obvious he had a good arm and he could really throw the football. I don't know if you know, when we got the tape first looked at him, I thought he was a junior. So I was ready to offer him right then. Then we found out he was a senior. He didn't have a scholarship, and it turned out we were able to get him the gray shirt. So the ability to throw the football, you could see it. He had a lot of arm talent, for lack of a better term. He didn't have to have his feet aligned all the time, but when he did, he really killed it. And that's the things that's showing up now. You can really see the arm talent behind him.
Joker talked about, you talked about how you run your guys to death in practice, so working on the deep ball is something that's kind of tough to do. He said maybe one way to address that is a drill where guys start out way down the field before they take off. Is that you guys worked that today, and can you sort of simulate it that way?
Well, you can't simulate it. You can do that, and it's probably a better drill for the receivers as far as being able to judge the ball. It helps the quarterbacks a little bit knowing where to throw it, but it's still not like having the guys come off the line of scrimmage. And it's one thing to simulate it with no pass rush in front of you. It's another thing to simulate it when you're having to move around in the pocket a little bit to see the guy. And it's something that we are addressing. We have addressed. We need to address even more than we have. And when you get those shots at those plays down the field, you got to be able to get this.
How do you see things going from here?
Well, obviously Aaron's inner plan's very big. How it works for him depends on him. If he continues to play and continues to work like he's been working, I see no reason why he won't continue to have success. We're not going to put him on a shelf just because he had 11 catches and 100 yards.
Okay, folks, let's get Coach.
Thanks.